Listening test instructions. The listening test is about 50 minutes. There are 6 parts in listening test. You will have about 6 minutes to listen to each passage and answer the questions. The passage will be played once.
Hey, you look concerned. What's on your mind?
The final exam. I'm not fully prepared yet.
Well, don't worry too much. You still have 3 days.
Yeah, but 3 days will fly past in a wink.
Well, you still have time to cram things in your brain anyway.
Question 1. Why is the man looked worried?
You will hear a conversation in 3 sections. You will hear each section only once. After each section, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. You will hear the questions only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hey Sarah, do you have a minute? I'm a bit stuck with the Thompson report.
Of course, John. What seems to be the problem?
Well, I've been trying to compile the sales data for the past 3 months, but the spreadsheet keeps showing errors when I try to merge the regional files. I'm not sure if I'm missing a step or if there's something wrong with the data itself.
Merging files can get tricky. Are you using the master template we received last week, or did you create a new one?
I tried creating a new one, thinking it would be faster, but now it seems like a mistake. The column headings aren't matching, so the formulas are all off.
Ah, that explains it. When the headings don't match exactly, Excel doesn't recognize the data correctly. I'd recommend using the master template and copying the regional sheets into it. That should preserve the formulas.
Oh, that makes sense. I didn't realize that small differences could cause such a mess.
Don't worry, it happens all the time. If you want, I can show you a quick trick to check for mismatched headers before merging.
That would be amazing. I really don't want to waste more time fixing errors later.
Sure. First, let's open the master template and go through each regional sheet one by one.
Question 1. Why does Sarah ask about the template John used? Question 2. What mistake did John realize only after encountering problems? Question 3. What does Sarah's response style suggest about her role?
You will hear the second section of the conversation shortly.
Okay, John, look at this. You see these headers? Even a single space difference can make Excel treat them as different columns.
Oh, I didn't notice that space after revenue in the South region file.
Exactly. So the first step is to standardize all headers across the sheets. You can either manually edit them or use the find and replace function to remove extra spaces.
Got it. That should be quick. What about the formulas? Some of them are still showing errors after I corrected the headers.
That's normal. Some formulas are dependent on the sheet names, not just the headers. Make sure the formula's references are pointing to the correct sheets.
So I should check each formula individually. That could take hours.
Not necessarily. You can use the Trace Dependence tool to see which cells are affected by each formula. That way, you only fix the ones causing errors.
That's much easier. Thanks. I didn't know Excel had that feature.
It's a lifesaver. And once you fix the formulas, the next step is merging the sheets into a single report. I can show you a macro that does it automatically, so you won't have to copy-paste manually.
Wow, that sounds perfect. I could definitely use that.
Nodding. Let's go through it step by step. First, make sure all your sheets are clean and headers standardized. Then we'll record a macro to merge them.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Question 4. What does Sarah imply by suggesting automation instead of manual work? Question 5. What concern does John express when thinking about fixing formulas? Question 6. Why does Sarah recommend checking only certain cells?
You will hear the third section of the conversation shortly.
All right, John. I'm recording the macro now. Watch carefully. First, we select all the sheets that need to be merged.
Got it. So I just click each sheet while holding Control.
Yes, exactly. Now we start the macro, copy the data from each sheet, and paste it into a new master sheet.
Oh, it's doing everything automatically. This is incredible.
That's the beauty of macros. Once recorded, you can use it anytime with similar files. Saves a lot of time.
I wish I had known about this earlier. It would have saved me hours last week.
Don't worry, John. We all learn new tricks gradually. Now, after merging, check that the totals match your original sheets. This ensures nothing got lost during the process.
All right, I'll double check. The totals look perfect.
Great! One final step. Save the merged report as a new file so we keep the original data intact.
Done. Sarah, I can't thank you enough. I feel much more confident about handling these reports now.
Happy to help. Remember, whenever you face spreadsheet issues, small mismatches are usually the culprit, and macros can be your best friend.
Absolutely. I'll practice using them more often. Thanks again for your guidance and patience.
Anytime, John. Teamwork makes problem solving so much easier.
Question 7. Why does Sarah advise checking totals after merging? Question 8. What is the main benefit of using macros according to Sarah?
You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hey, Lucas, have you thought about how we're getting to Aunt Margaret's place on Sunday?
Oh, hi, Sophie. I was just thinking about that. Traffic might be bad if we leave too late. Do you want to take the car or the bus?
I think the car would be faster, but parking might be tricky. Aunt Margaret lives in that busy neighborhood near the market.
True. The bus is more relaxed, but we'd have to check the schedule. Last time we ended up waiting over 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was annoying. I don't really want to deal with that again. Maybe we should just leave earlier and take the car. What time do you think we should start?
Let's see. The function starts at 2 in the afternoon. It usually takes about 45 minutes to get there, but with traffic, it could be an hour or more.
So maybe we should leave around 12:30? That way we have plenty of time and we can grab lunch on the way if we want.
That sounds reasonable. We might also run into some construction on Main Street, though. I heard they're closing a lane this weekend.
Oh no, really? That could delay us even more. Maybe leaving at 12 would be safer.
Good point. Leaving at 12 gives us a buffer in case of traffic. I can check Google Maps in the morning to see if there are any live updates.
Perfect. Also, should we take your car or Mom's?
I think my car is fine. It's just the two of us going, and it has enough space for the gifts we're bringing.
Yeah, you're right. Plus, we won't have to wait for Mom to come back home if we take hers.
Exactly. Okay, so we're leaving at 12 in my car. Do we need to stop for anything before we go? Snacks, water, anything?
Maybe some bottled water and a small bag of snacks for the ride. Aunt Margaret usually has food ready, but it might be nice to have something while traveling.
Agreed. I'll pack a few granola bars and water bottles. Should I also bring the camera?
Yes, she loves when we take photos of everyone together. Don't forget the charger for it, though.
Got it. I'll put it in my bag tonight so we're ready. Anything else?
I think that's all. Just to confirm, we're leaving at 12, taking your car, bringing snacks, water, and the camera.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan. I'm glad we sorted this out ahead of time.
Me too. It'll make the day less stressful. Thanks, Lucas.
Anytime, Sophie. Let's hope the traffic cooperates.
Question 1. Why do Sophie and Lucas finally decide to depart earlier than originally suggested? Question 2. What concern makes Sophie reluctant to use public transport? Question 3. Why does Lucas suggest checking navigation updates later? Question 4. What does choosing Lucas's vehicle indirectly suggest? Question 5. Why is Sophie confident food won't be an issue at the destination?
You will hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the campus cafeteria. How can I help you today?
Hi, I'm a first-year student, and I wanted to ask about allergy-safe meal options. I have a few food allergies, so I'm a bit cautious about what I eat.
Of course, Daniel. I'm glad you asked. Food allergies are taken very seriously here. Could you tell me which foods you're allergic to?
Yes, I'm allergic to peanuts and tree nuts, and I also have a mild allergy to dairy products.
Thank you for letting me know. Peanuts and tree nuts are among the most common allergens, so we have clear procedures in place. As for dairy, we also offer several dairy-free alternatives. Are your allergies severe or more manageable?
The nut allergies are severe. Even small amounts can cause a reaction. Dairy is less serious, but I still try to avoid it when possible.
Understood. In that case, I'd recommend our Allergy-Aware Meal Station. It's located near the salad bar, and it's specifically designed for students with food sensitivities.
That sounds helpful. What kind of food is served there?
The menu changes daily, but it usually includes simple meals like grilled chicken, steamed vegetables, rice or pasta made without common allergens. All meals at that station are prepared using separate utensils and cookware to avoid cross-contamination.
That's reassuring. How can I be sure the food doesn't contain nuts or dairy?
Each dish has a detailed label. The labels clearly state whether the food is free from nuts, dairy, gluten, and other allergens. If you're ever unsure, you can always ask a staff member for clarification.
Great. Are the staff trained to handle allergy-related questions?
Yes, absolutely. All cafeteria staff receive regular training on food allergies, proper hygiene, and cross-contact prevention. We also have a supervisor available during mealtimes if you need more detailed information.
That's good to know. What about desserts? Are there any safe options?
We do offer allergy-friendly desserts, such as fruit cups, dairy-free sorbet, and occasionally nut-free baked goods. These are kept in a separate display to reduce risk.
Nice. I was worried I wouldn't have many choices.
I understand your concern. Many students feel that way at first, but most find suitable options once they're familiar with the system. You can also speak with our campus dietitian if you'd like personalized meal planning advice.
I didn't know there was a dietitian available. How can I contact them?
You can book an appointment through the Student Health Portal, or I can give you their email address. They're very helpful and experienced with allergy management.
That would be great. One last question. What should I do if I accidentally eat something that causes a reaction?
If that happens, seek medical help immediately. We also encourage students with severe allergies to carry emergency medication with them at all times. Additionally, please report the incident to cafeteria management so we can investigate and prevent future issues.
Thank you so much, Miss Carter. This information really helps me feel more comfortable eating here.
You're very welcome, Daniel. Don't hesitate to ask if you have more questions. Your safety is important to us. Enjoy your meal.
Question 1. Why does Daniel mention being a first-year student early in the conversation? Question 2. Miss Carter's initial response mainly shows that she wants to Question 3. Daniel's description of dairy sensitivity implies that he Question 4. The recommendation of the allergy-aware station suggests the cafeteria Question 5. Separate cookware and utensils mainly indicate concern about Question 6. The mention of staff training implies that mistakes are
You will hear a news item once. It is about 1.5 minutes long. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best way to complete each statement from the drop-down menu.
This is your local traffic update for the week ahead. City officials have announced a series of temporary road closures across several areas in downtown Toronto due to scheduled maintenance work. These closures are part of a broader initiative to repair aging infrastructure, improve traffic flow, and ensure the safety of both drivers and pedestrians. According to the city's transportation department, the first major closure will take place on King Street between Spadina Avenue and Bay Street. This closure will begin on Monday morning at 7 a.m. and is expected to last for 3 days. During this period, crews will be repaving the roadway, repairing damaged curbs, and updating traffic signals to improve efficiency. Motorists are advised to use alternative routes such as Queen Street or Dundas Street to avoid delays. In addition, a section of University Avenue near the intersection with Adelaide Street will be partially closed starting Tuesday at 9 a.m. until Thursday evening. While one lane will remain open for local traffic, drivers are encouraged to expect minor delays due to the reduced capacity. Maintenance work in this area will include sewer inspections, pothole repairs, and routine line painting. Pedestrians are also advised to follow temporary sidewalk detours, which will be clearly marked throughout the work zone. The city also reported that Bloor Street between Bay Street and Avenue Road will experience intermittent lane closures throughout the week. These closures are scheduled to occur during off-peak hours, primarily between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., to minimize the impact on traffic flow. The work will involve underground utility inspections, drainage improvements, and resurfacing damaged sections of the road. Bus routes passing through these areas may be temporarily adjusted, and transit authorities have urged passengers to check for updates before traveling. Officials have emphasized the importance of following posted detour signs and adhering to temporary speed limits to ensure safety. Emergency vehicles will have full access at all times, and local businesses will remain open, though minor disruptions to parking may occur near the construction zones. The Transportation Department has also set up an online portal where residents can view real-time updates on the maintenance schedule and affected routes. Residents are encouraged to plan their daily commutes in advance and allow extra travel time if their routes pass through any of the affected areas. Drivers should also consider using public transit or cycling routes whenever possible to help ease congestion. City authorities have reiterated that while the closures may cause temporary inconvenience, these maintenance efforts are essential for keeping the road network safe, reliable, and efficient for all users.
You will listen to a 2 minutes video. Then 8 questions appear. Choose the best way to answer each question.
All right, team, we've been getting more complaints lately about late deliveries. I looked over the data and it's clear we're slipping. Any ideas on how to fix this?
Well, it's pretty obvious to me. We just need more hands on the road. We're stretched thin. I mean, even if we optimize the routes, we still don't have enough drivers to cover the volume.
I see where you're coming from, Jason, but throwing more drivers into the mix won't help if they're still stuck in traffic or taking inefficient routes. I actually think route optimization software could cut down delays significantly. A lot of companies are doing it, and it's made a big difference for them.
That's true. But there's also the client side. Some complaints weren't just about delays, but about not knowing their packages were delayed until the last minute. If we improve communication, like automated texts or real-time tracking, clients might be more understanding, even if we are a little late.
Okay, but better communication won't make the packages arrive faster. If someone's waiting for a birthday gift and we text them, "Sorry, your package is late," that doesn't solve the core issue. We've got to tackle this at the source.
But Emma's point is still valid. Expectations matter. If people know what to expect, they're less likely to get angry. Plus, route optimization might not even require that much investment. Some tools are integrated with our current GPS systems.
True. Although hiring more drivers gives us flexibility, especially during peak times. But then again, recruiting takes time and budget approvals.
And training. It's not like you can throw a newbie out with a van and hope for the best. If we go that route, we're looking at a few months before it pays off.
So maybe a hybrid approach. Short-term fix, better communication. Mid-term, optimize routes. Long-term, expand the fleet.
I like that. But let's prioritize. We probably can't do all three at once. Which do we start with?
My vote's still for hiring. Otherwise, we're just shuffling problems around.
I'd start with optimization, more bang for the buck.
And I'm leaning toward communication. Maybe we should pilot all three on a small scale and track the outcomes.
Not a bad idea, as long as we track the right metrics.
You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu.
Skill-based hiring has gained significant attention as organizations increasingly prioritize practical abilities over formal educational credentials. Advocates argue that in today's rapidly evolving job market, the traditional emphasis on degrees may not accurately reflect a candidate's potential or suitability for a role. By focusing on demonstrable skills, companies aim to identify individuals who can contribute effectively from day one, regardless of their educational background. This shift aligns with the increasing need for agility and adaptability in workplaces where technology and industry requirements change at a rapid pace. Employees hired based on skills may be better prepared to handle real-world challenges and deliver tangible results, which can foster confidence and competence early in their careers. One important aspect of skill-based hiring is that it encourages continuous learning and self-directed growth. Candidates aware that their performance is measured by skills rather than credentials may feel motivated to improve, upskill, and explore new areas relevant to their roles. This mindset can translate into stronger long-term career growth as employees develop expertise that aligns with market demands rather than merely completing academic requirements. In addition, skill-based hiring can help reduce barriers to entry for individuals from diverse educational and socioeconomic backgrounds, expanding opportunities for talent that might have been overlooked in traditional degree-centric recruitment processes. This inclusivity may enrich workplaces with varied perspectives and problem-solving approaches, which in turn can enhance career development through exposure to different experiences and learning opportunities. Furthermore, organizations adopting skill-based hiring may offer more structured learning and development programs to ensure that employees continue to grow in their roles. With an emphasis on practical competencies, employees can receive targeted training that bridges gaps in knowledge and hones abilities relevant to their specific job functions. This approach can accelerate career progression by allowing individuals to demonstrate competence in tangible ways that are recognized and rewarded. As employees advance, their skill portfolio grows, positioning them for more complex responsibilities and leadership roles without being constrained by formal degree requirements. The approach also reflects a shift in how career trajectories are perceived. Traditional career growth often assumed linear advancement tied to academic qualifications and hierarchical promotions. In contrast, skill-based hiring supports a more dynamic model, where growth is linked to acquiring new competencies, delivering results, and adapting to changing roles. Employees who are evaluated based on their abilities rather than credentials may experience a more meritocratic progression, with performance and skills guiding opportunities for promotion, lateral moves, or specialization. This can result in careers that are more closely aligned with personal strengths and interests, fostering sustained engagement and professional fulfillment.
Visit celpipmocktest.com for authentic Celpip mock tests and see the difference in your performance.